I have an exciting new show out called Ask Aunt Angel exclusively on the KevOnStage Studios app. I wanted to give you all a little teaser of what's in store. So on this call, we're dealing with someone who is having all types of cultural conflicts between her and her in-laws. And sometimes it's hard to figure out how to put people in check, but also remain a family. Hi, Clary May. Thank you so
Hi,
much
Aunt Angel.
for calling in, girl. I was looking at your question, and this is a heavy-duty one. So
Yeah.
you have been married for how long?
For 5 years.
5 years, and your husband is Asian?
Yes.
Okay, so you said that his family is kind of prejudiced. Like how in what way have they shown their, closed-minded prejudiceness?
Well, for starters, like he's one of 5, so he has 2 sisters, and one of the sisters, just for as an example, was like, "You have such beautiful hair. Can I brush it?" And I just kind of looked at her, and I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Oh, I think it's just so beautiful." I was like, "Are you looking for tracks?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for tracks." Or the mother has blatantly asked, like, "Oh, what's your relationship like with your father?"
Oh.
You waiting? I don't have a relationship with my father, and that's the farthest thing.
Right.
So just little things like that.
So aggressive microaggressions.
Right.
Have you all ever talked to his family head on about it, very direct?
Absolutely. They're a little intimidated of me because I am more of an alpha female, so I was very straightforward. And my husband's not one to let anyone say anything, so he was very upfront about everything. And they're just kind of like, "Oh no, that's not what it is. We're family. We welcome you." But their mannerisms and their face and their comments say otherwise. So as we were together, we kind of moved to the West. They stayed in the East, and that's kind of how we keep it.
Okay, so now you have a baby on the way. Is the baby on the way, or are you all thinking about having a baby?
We're going to try to have a baby this year.
Okay, and so you want to keep the baby away from his family. Is that correct?
I do. I know that sounds horrible, but I do.
Because in your mind, you would be protecting your baby from
just outside prejudices or comments, because babies are a blessing, and I'll never allow somebody to disrespect a newborn that's just bringing joy into the world. And that baby's me.
Well, of course.
And I think that, keeping them at a distance, a far distance, is what's best. But with my husband, he's just so excited to have a family finally, that he wants to showcase it to everybody. Of course. But I'm just not keen, or I don't want the comments, because then I'll have to turn into mama bear. And
right. Okay, so this is my thoughts, my honest to God thoughts on it. I completely understand where you're coming from of wanting to protect your child at all costs. I will say that a lot of people who have prejudices that are not like the extreme ones, but the ones that you're talking about, where it's just like, come on, you should know better. This is disrespectful. Right. I've met actually quite a few of those people that end up with a grandchild that ends up being from the culture that they had the prejudices in. And then all of a sudden, they can see all the things that they thought were wrong, all the ways in which the words that they say are hurtful, because I'm sure they have love for you because their son does, but you are not one of them. However, you birthing a child would make that child one of them as well as one of you. Now, I will never be one to tell anyone to tolerate any type of disrespect when it comes to your child. But I will say, I think you should possibly give them a chance because, especially because you are bringing 2 very different cultures together. And I'm all about a child being able to understand and know all of their identity. Right. I'm not saying subject them to anything that doesn't, bring them joy and love, but you don't want them to feel like they were cut off from that family without giving them a bit of a chance. And you all can give them the fair warning of, we're going to try this when we have our child. We're going to try this. We want you to be a part of their life. However, if you don't know how to pull your act together and realize the things that you think are okay to say to me are not okay to say to anybody, we will exit stage left with this baby, and you will only get a Christmas card at the end of the year, and that's about it. But
Amen to that.
listen, I'm telling you, and because I can understand your husband and you, this will be you all's first child. And
Hmm.
when you do bring life into this world for the first time, yes, you want the people that you love to also love on your child. And while,
Hmm.
like we just watched in the news, uh,
Meghan
Princess,
Markle.
yes, Meghan Markle and Harry dealing with that. And yes, sometimes when it's just when people don't want to change their ways, then yes, absolutely distance yourself because it's not worth it. But I would say if you give them some sort of pre-warning and if they're willing to agree, giving them the chance to meet the baby, and if their attitudes haven't changed, you should not feel any type of way of removing yourself from it. But I do think there might be some regret, maybe some animosity if you don't give it a chance at
I
all.
could see that.
You know? I know that's a hard one. That's always anytime someone is in an interracial relationship with two cultures that have not mixed well or haven't really had a chance to mix, it can be difficult to try to figure out because even when you said you could tell from their facial mannerisms and the things that they
Hmm.
do, there's some things that you might be picking up on that might not even be a thing to them. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
Right, that's true.
so it is hard. It is a learning thing. And I'm not saying you got to always be the teacher, but I will say on something as delicate as bringing life into the world, you try not to make too many hard, fast rules because you just never know. People can change, people can evolve. So I would say give them the opportunity when the day happens. And if they don't rise to the occasion, then go ahead and give them a boot.
Two boots.
Two boots. Well, the best of luck to you. I'm excited for you guys, and I hope that you all that they do right because you're gonna want a beautiful village around your child, and that would hopefully include his family and your family.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Aunt Angel, for that advice. And I'm definitely going to take it and talk to my husband about all of that.
All right, you have a blessed day, love.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye. So, if you want to see more calls like this and some that get really juicy, you need to go on over to the KevOnStage Studios app available on all platforms. Bye.